Yes, everyone. Sorry about that. I accidentally just clicked end stream pretty much, and it was a bit of a howler on my part. I was just sort of clicking out of some other things that I just sort of had on my browser and everything like that, and I was trying to end the clock. And I think where I sort of had the clock position was just sort of right behind the end broadcast, and I think it just sort of ended broadcast right there. So sorry about that. Bit of a howler on my part. Hopefully everybody is doing all right. Maybe in some way has grabbed either a drink or in some way has found a way to calm down, because that probably was some of the best football we have been served. Not as many goals as we wanted to be served, but definitely some brilliant football indeed. And just scintillating play. Like I sort of said earlier, I can't even say that we can really have any criticisms about much of the play other than maybe not just stepping on the throat a bit more and maybe just, keeping up the pressure, keeping up the intensity, grab that second. Then maybe you can start to ease off a bit more, start to kind of, maybe relax. But there was maybe some chances to go for a second. We didn't take it, but you can't really complain at all, really, about the play. The play was just terrific, and we really were just we're just sensational, really, Dave. And I just hope that we can continue that into the second half. Because if we do, I mean, West Ham are going to crumble. I mean, they were begging for mercy at times. Sometimes some of their clearances, they were just begging for mercy.
No, look, we definitely have them under the cosh, right? We've put our foot on their throat, so to speak, and we've kept them penned back. However, there have been a couple of warning signs towards the end of that half that if that ball does click, if that right ball does come, they can very easily catch us. We spoke about it all week, Jack. This is what West Ham thrive on. Sort of slowing the game down, let teams, bore themselves to sleep with passing, pounce on one mistake, and grab an equaliser. And look, I also read out a stat in the pre-match build-up that Tottenham have dropped 13 points from winning positions so far this season. The only other team to drop more points from winning positions is Burnley. So, the warning signs are there. And I've no doubt Ange Postecoglou is probably ripping into them, as great as they've been. They took the foot off the off the gas, and Postecoglou, he likes possession with a purpose. He doesn't like this possession and bore yourself asleep. So I've no doubt it'll be at them to go and kill this game, try and get it done early so that he can make changes and get some of these players off and get them fresh for Sunday. But look, as happy as I am, as dominant as we've been, we haven't really created many chances outside of that well-taken header from Romero. So I do think we have to be a lot better with the possession.
The King Hoddle saying, from what he's heard on the radio, is that some of the radio guys are saying it's some of the best football they've ever seen. I think they just haven't seen enough of Ange Postecoglou and Tottenham Hotspur, to be honest, King Hoddle. This is sort of what we're starting to get used to. I think what's been nice about today is that the part of Ange's kind of solution to these low block, defensive sort of type of styles of play, right, is just play faster, right? Just increase the energy, increase the intensity, and take even more risks, right? Have even more runs off of the ball. Just don't switch what you're doing, right? And don't concede to that sort of defensive type of low block system, right? Just almost increase the tempo of whatever he's already asking of you. And I think that's what we're kind of seeing here is Spurs already move it probably quicker than anybody else. Spurs already have more of an attacking mindset than anybody else, but it's almost like he turns it up to 11, really, in this case, for this sort of game against what he knows is going to be very defensive, stubborn, low block team. And West Ham, he's just decided to turn up that tempo to 11.
Yeah, look, but the thing is, we've been good up until the edge of the box, but outside of that, we haven't really been able to get Sonny through, haven't really been able to get Kulu through. Johnson's had a couple of half chances, shanked them. We do need to be a hell of a lot more clinical for how dominant we'll be. But look, that's the next step we need to take as a team. Learning to kill teams off, nice and early when we have these spells so that we can really go on and really do something. And that will come with time. But look, Brennan Johnson needs to really sort of pick himself up. I know there's going to be people are going to say, but he's right-footed playing on the left. But when I was growing up watching football, wingers played on the opposite side all the time and could do it as equally as effective. He needs to develop that left foot. It's not good enough from him. And Kulu, as good as he's been, I want to see him go on the outside a couple of times, try and get the ball pulled back low across the box and see if we can get one of their midfielders running in and on the end of it. Just need to be a bit more in the final third. We haven't found that pass yet.
Yeah. And everybody, once again, my apologies. I had the scoreboard right behind, I think, the end broadcast button. I think I did a bit of a nervous double click. Ended up ending, the stream. But we have close to 200 already back with us in the chat. So I do once again apologize. That's on me. Big red card on my end. You might have to go back. No need for the VAR. I'll give myself a penalty in this situation. Make it easier on everybody. So again, my apologies. But if you do want to get your say in, bringing up some good comments, engaging with the chat here, really do appreciate you all. And I also see so many of you that are saying, like the stream for since they've gotten it restarted so quickly. And I do appreciate that. I think it was really on my end, so I really was going to restart it as quickly as possible. It was a major L or a major error on my end, so I had to remedy it as quickly as I could. But I do appreciate you guys even, by Trippier, mistake. Come on, you Spurs. Dave and Dark Sun G, I have a few. I don't like to bet on Spurs, but I have some money on Everton actually getting the result. And I'm not sure if that game's ended or anything like that, but that's my prediction, Dark Sun G, is that I actually think Everton are going to grab 3 points today.
Yeah, look, you did predict it, Jack. Look, obviously I haven't seen the goal, Dark Sun G, but absolutely huge for Everton. And look, hopefully, it dampens Newcastle's spirit travelling away to us.
Dice masterclass, maybe Dark Sun G.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, here we are. Trippier just gets bowled off the ball. Everton just run at them. And it's a well-taken shot by, what's the guy that used to play for Burnley? What's his name?
Dwight McNeil. Great wow, effort. What a finish.
Great effort. Good goal. But look, it just goes to show Newcastle are beatable. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have to, deal with the team that's in front of us this evening. And we have to go and kill them off. Because if we don't win this, it makes Newcastle, the game on Sunday, even more tetchy.
Definitely. Absolutely. And it's almost a lesson learned where as much as that's a terrific goal and that's a 1-0, like I don't want to go through that. I want to grab a second, right? I want to make this easier. Yeah. I want to make this easier on our heartstrings. We've had with Spurs all, so many games that really do push, the bloodstream and really do push the heart rate. Let's go for the throat here, make it easier on ourselves for sure. But Dark Sun G, I did have a bit of coin on an Everton win, and I did have a bit of coin on one of those score lines, like a 2-0 or a 1-0, I think is what I sort of had in line, and I think something might come through for me, which is terrific. Skunkworks saying, Jack, you'll never get a job in the nuclear reactor. maybe not in that case, yeah, because I'd probably try to, put my coffee right where the big red button is, and then I'll accidentally accidentally push it or, end up, dropping, some food on, some of the big important, buttons. Don't let me be a train operator. Don't let me be a bus driver, any of that sort, please. Keep me away from that type of thing. The OBS will do. The OBS is already enough responsibility. Big up. Maybe I overdid the apology, but I do apologize, everybody, because I know that was sort of really random and everything, and you probably thought that something much more serious had happened, but it was in fact quite lame in how the stream had ended. Ellie just a girl left Spurs sending in a super sticker, and it's I can't really tell what this is because it's quite an adorable super sticker. It's like a little, kind of, I think it's a little bird in a cape and a little smaller bird next to it. But I must say, Ellie, to the queen of the Hoiberg Academy, the queen of the Hoiberg lovers, I mean, I think he's been terrific so far. And in fact, I think he's been embodying exactly what Ange wants, which is this very quick, high tempo type of passing. And some would say that maybe he wouldn't, be the greatest player to have for, breaking down the slow block. I don't think you could criticize him for, not contributing today. I think he's been very good at keeping the tempo, winning the ball back, turning over the ball for us, but also being good on and making incisive passes, making passes that do, cause West Ham to have to track back and have to, reassemble and have to look around. And he's caused problems to them today, Dave. And I think Hoiberg, if you were to probably look at some of the halftime stats for him, and I bet he's probably been one of the better performers today, especially on the ball. He has been great.
No, look, he's done very well, and there's been a few nice times where the ball comes into him, he just pops it around the corner and gets us going. But the problem isn't, we're not having a problem sort of progressing the ball from the back line. That's been absolutely brilliant. Bar Hoiberg's miss kick, which was comical, in the first sort of
Yeah,
few seconds. He's actually been good. The problem is, we draw West Ham on. He plays that ball around the corner. We're in behind. But then when it gets up to them players in the front line, it's slowing right down, allowing everyone to get back again. So it's actually counteracting what we're trying to do there in that regard. But Hoiberg has been very good today. Very good.
yeah. I think it's about somebody just sort of taking the onus, taking a risk today, Ali. And I think Hoiberg's been very good at sort of keeping the one touch, two touch passing, sort of up and being an example in that regard. But we need somebody to take maybe more of a risk today and find maybe some of those runs. I'm seeing some runs maybe from Sonny. Not saying that many have been ignored, but once or twice, I think Dave and I have kind of maybe accused Brennan Johnson, and I think maybe it was Basuma or Lo Celso, kind of ignored maybe a run of another player in behind. I think some of the players are going to need to take a few more risks on the ball, despite how quickly they are moving it. Once you find yourself 1-0 up and you're not getting that second, in a way, don't concede and start to just, pass it more side to side, almost take more risks, maybe ask more questions of West Ham. So it's definitely an interesting one for sure. But about to get the game clock going and get started again here.
Everton have just gone 2-0 up.
2-0 up, really? Wow.
Yeah.
I had big money on a 2-0 result. I actually did. I'm actually buzzing off of that. I'm not going to see how it goes. We'll just see if I end up losing money or, winning money on that one. But a 2-0 result for me, Dark Sun G, is absolutely massive. I actually put some money on a 2-0 result for Sean Dyche. I predicted a Sean Dyche masterclass, Dark Sun G. You heard me in the pre-match build-up.
West Ham,
West Ham, though, already with a quick start.
Jared Bowen.
We wanted the quick start. They're having it. Oh, good block from Pedro.
Come on, Spurs. They're riled up now. They'll want this West Ham.
Kulusevski out wide here. Oh, not a giveaway. Straight away.
West Ham are just upping the intensity on us right
Dark
now,
Sun
and it's
G
ball
saying
behind.
Everton 2-0 up. Another Trippier mistake. Come on, you Spurs. Let's win.
Oh, no. West Ham have numbers of James Ward-Prowse. Why didn't he play Kudos there? Wrong decision.
He had it open right side there.
You really have to up the intensity this half. You have to come out fast out the blocks again. There we go.
Were there any changes at halftime, Dave, that you see? Oh, good win from Udogie. Play Sonny. Play Sonny. Sonny!
Put it back.
Hit it with your left, man. Go be selfish. Sonny, be selfish. Oh, I felt like he should have been selfish there.
Yeah.
Hit it with your left. Cut inside. Hit it with your right. Just shoot. Just shoot. We love to square it when I just feel like the square isn't even on. We're almost a bit sweaty. Really, like we're a little sweaty at times where we just need to just shoot it, Dave. There, Sonny
scored a perfect goal.
Yeah, we're trying to score the perfect goal. Someone said that. I think
goal.
it was George earlier said that. You're absolutely right. Sonny, be
just
selfish.
Like do 3-0 up and then do 3-0 up. And for all I care, you can dance with the ball. I couldn't give a shit. Just go and get the goals first. Put the game beyond doubt. Good ball back. Lo Celso clips it in. No one there.
Not great for my fantasy team, though, Dark Sun G, but maybe good for my bets.
I made a late change last night. I brought Tarkowski in.
Not good for my fantasy team, Dark Sun G. Oh, Worldy! Was it Poro?
That one.
Oh.
Poro.
Not good for my fantasy team, though, Dark Sun G. I must be honest. It's probably not good if Trippier was involved in 2 mistakes. Might be getting negative points.
He's counteracting everything Tarkowski's doing. West Ham with the goal kick. Just pumping it long again. Straight out of the rugby club playbook. West Ham won't be as bad as they were on the ball in the first half. In this half. And it's a straight ball over the top.
Clear.
Oh, well
Davies. Well done, son.
Great defending.
So clear that we need a second goal, says Weira. I completely agree.
He's been good today, Davies, actually.
Yeah, he's been good in possession, I think, so far. He's not been guilty of passing it sideways.
But one mistake will ruin it, so don't do it, Ben. Poro. What's going on here? Are we getting on with the game or not?
I'm seeing another skunkwork saying, don't. He's saying, what did he say? Don't use the phrase.
See what I mean?
Oh, no.
See what I mean? It's another good ball out by Hoiberg, and the front line just losing. It's coming back.
Yeah. Well done, Basuma. That's out. Oh, that's out of play again. Skunkworks was saying, don't use the phrase hit that button around Jack.
Look, it happens, you know, it happens. The great thing is that you're all back in here enjoying yourself.
Don't say hit that like button around Jack. You might spontaneously reach for a button. Need to keep our composure.
You know what, Jack? I have
says
to say,
Shawnee
you were very
Maddox.
calm and composed about getting it back going again. I would have been flapping all over the place.
It took 2 seconds. Shawnee Maddox says, need to keep our composure. That we do, Shawnee. Come on now. Lo Celso, get turned. Into Udoji. Wow. Udoji is just brilliant.
I won't make a run.
Yeah, it's getting a little more static than it was before.
Everyone's just coming to the ball. No one wants to go in behind.
Yeah, we had a lot of more unselfish runs, previously in the game. Big opening, though. Sonny, good ball. Back post. Into Højbjerg. Oh, handball. They've all stopped. Højbjerg, continue your run. I feel like he should have continued his run, Dave.
He should. Oh, you always play to the whistle for sure.
Play through the whistle, but they were convinced. They're convinced.
Højbjerg
stopped his run.
He intentionally done one in the first half.
He stopped his run. I feel like Højbjerg, if he played through the whistle, he would have had a goal.
The same guy intentionally done one in the first half. Handball.
I agree, Tyler. Continue to play. Rambam. What a ball from Rambam. Kuluk. Skin him. Rambam.
Someone
skin him.
Fucking trigger.
Have a hit. Somebody. Be a little courageous. Have some bravery. Kulu. Maybe do a little too much bravery. Trying to go past 2 men there. Get stuck in, son.
It's just everything's too slow.
Oh, that's why.
He kind of moved his arm out to that.
Maybe he did.
It's clever. He's put it behind his back, but sort of moved the top of the arm out.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Why did everybody stop play?
Yeah, I don't understand why.
No way.
No. This is it. And he's onside.
Oh, no.
This is exactly what we were worried about. Exactly what we were fucking worried about. This is what happens when you don't go and kill games and you're dicking about on the fucking football without trying to go and kill a game. I said it before the game. We've dropped the most points from winning position, and that's because we get so fucking lax on the ball.
Wow.
You want to be killers, you want to win something, you got to go and kill games off.
Wow. They've just been shit as well this entire game, West Ham, and that's exactly what we predicted. We knew they would do exactly this.
It's why you got to go
I
and
think
kill games.
that's. I'm more frustrated with the players involved previously not playing through that moment, through that handball. Why did Højbjerg not play through that moment? Why did Johnson not play through that moment? I thought there was still a goal.
Romero got bullied by Bowen on the ball up as well, and then it just comes off him and off Davies. That's unfortunate.
That's a ridiculous
he allowed
bounce.
Bowen to hold up.
That's the luckiest bounce I've ever seen.
Oh my God. This is what happens when you dick about on the ball. You think you're the big Charlies, big time Charlies. That's what they thought they were. 1-0 up, big time Charlies. And now look at the result of it.
Yeah.
Sickening, that. Absolutely sickening. And now the referee's going to give them everything as well.
It's sort of what we predicted, though, Dave. Like, we sort of felt like Spurs were going to score first, get the momentum, and then West Ham at some stage were going to, grab something probably against the run of play, and it's up to us to come back again. It's kind of how we envisioned it. So this is a wake-up call to us, and it's an early one, at least.
That's probably the only saving grace, Jack, that it's an early one. But, like, we can sit here and bemoan the luck of the goal, the double ricochet, whatever, but at the end of the day, that was always something like that. You always leave yourself open to something like that if you don't go and kill games of football. So I don't care about how lucky the goal was. At the end of the day, it's our own fault for dicking about on the ball.
I agree.
And no one wants to pull that trigger and go and kill a game.
I agree.
Do you want to be winners or do you not? You know what I mean? They all got too big for their boots, prance around on the ball, little chippy-tappy 1-2s.
Certainly being punished for sort of acting again, kind of like in other games, a bit too content with the 1-0 lead. Because you're playing so well with the 1-goal lead, you sort of think the game's just going to wrap itself up and the goals are going to fly in, but they don't in the Premier League. You really have to earn them.
Made a rod off our own back here, and it really didn't need to be like that. And now they want to quicken it up. It's too fucking late. Porro, Basuma, Romero trying to take charge. It's a good clip out wide. Johnson, fucking shit again, useless. Take him off. He's been useless.
Yeah, I think if anybody who's been maybe more not on par with some of the others, it's probably been Johnson today.
Another ball in behind. Well done, no, Destiny gets
Sufal gets past.
Oh no.
Ward-Prowse squares it to Paqueta. Good read from Vicario. West Ham starting to show that they can hit you on the counter.
This is what they aim for. It's just and they're getting, and what's even more, they're committing more to it in this half as well. Committing more bodies to the counter. 4 lined up there, right across the front of our box.
Højbjerg. He's looking for it, just nothing to play to though.
That's a better ball. Now he has to be direct at this fullback. Sprint at him. Solo or Porro. That's more like it.
Sir, Porro taken out. Play advantage then. Thank you. That's what we want. It's a set piece right outside the area. What advantage are you playing?
Yeah, just outside.
George is saying, I blame Ange with Kulu on the right. I'm not sure, George. I think Kulu's had an all right game, actually, on the right. And it's Brennan that's been a bit more wasteful. Kulu, I think, has had decent hold-up play. I can understand what you mean by he just offers that physicality and that sort of just that creativity wherever he is on the pitch. And if that's in the central areas that you want to see it more, maybe Kulusevski's a good shout. But I actually think he's been all right on the right today. And I think Højbjerg's been okay too. I think Højbjerg's for the most part been all right with Basuma. And I think Basuma's been fine today. I think Lo Celso's been fine today. I think it's really just like Dave has brought up, maybe just a bit of a mentality sort of issue where we just gone a bit complacent at some stage. Got a bit complacent.
Right word for it. You can't blame Ange. Kulu scored the equaliser off that.
I think a lot of players have actually been playing really well.
You blame the players. They took the foot off the gas.
Yeah.
It was plain to see in the first half, You blame the players. You do not blame Ange Postecoglou. Kulu got the equaliser off there against City last week.
Yeah.
The players are responsible when they're out there. They took the foot off the gas. They're tippy-tapping it around. Look when West Ham scored. Look at the urgency back in there playing now. You see the difference. Mm-hmm. That's why you blame the players.
Tyler saying that was a waste of a set piece. Shawnee Maddox. 3-0 Everton. Damn it.
Jesus.
I'm actually now mad.
Højbjerg plays it back to Basuma. Basuma to Kulu.
Come on, man. Yes.
Don't let them out here. And we let them out. Well done, Romero. Someone make an option for him.
Højbjerg. Win it again. Damn it. No, don't let him
Do
through
not
there.
let him out. He's giving Porro a yellow card. Believe that.
Sharaith saying Kulu is wasted on the wing.
The problem is as well, we've got no one to cross it to. We don't have any target man in there. We don't have any eye. That's why when it does get out to Brennan Johnson, he's got Kulu coming in at the back post. He has to cross it. But he's being useless. He can't even get the ball under control. Romero underneath that. Heads it clear.
Come on, Pierre.
2 players on Kulu still.
There you go, and a Sonny.
Sonny.
Good turn.
Oh. Sonny.
Probably just too audacious.
He's getting frustrated now. I want to see a change.
Too audacious there. Doji, no one to head it to, so he heads it to Kudus. Whips it in. Sufal, set piece for West Ham.
Look at them. They're going absolutely ballistic in that corner. Look at them. They love it. Look at them. Look at the state of them. Look at them. Giving the hammer signs and everything because they got a corner. James Ward-Prowse on the delivery. The corner kick in the first half, they had 2 players at the near post that got on the end of it and headed it wide. It's another good, it's gone right through. Don't let him swing that back in, and we do. It's a free header at the back post. They're queuing up to swing in. It's another good ball for Cario.
Dangerous.
We need to wake up here.
Not getting.
We need to wake up. We knew this spell was coming.
I don't think knew it was coming. We just haven't continued at all what we started in the first half. We've just been a different team in the second half in West Ham.
That's what happens when you get complacent. You find it hard to get back to the levels. Ward-Prowse with another outswinger. That's cleared.
Oh, no.
He's off. What a save anyway. It's exactly what I would have done to Jack Grealish on Sunday. Tottenham need to wake up now. The warning signs have been there. The dangerous signs we could lose if they do not wake up. Some urgency, please. West Ham sense it. They're pressing Tottenham high now. They sense the blood.
Maybe this could help us. But if we need to keep our composure, though.
All the way over, bubbling everywhere on its way to.
Well done. Well done. Good touch there. Lo Celso.
Johnson on the way out.
Sonny, come short. That's good.
That's a yellow. Foul. He's just ripped down a counter. Pull out the bloody card. No, you want to be best friends with him. You're an embarrassment, man.
Tella Ahmed, member for 20 months, saying we can win this. Come on, you Spurs.
Oh, look, we have it in us to win.
I do think we're going to win this, but West Ham are showing what they can do here.
Without doubt, we can on like that. We have everything in us to be able to go and win it. It's becoming frustrating. Out to Romero. Romero to Højbjerg. Good ball out to Kulu. Porro's on the overlap. Kulu comes back in to Højbjerg.
There you go, Pierre.
Good ball to Bissouma.
There you go, Pierre.
Back to Højbjerg.
Oh, take your time, Pierre. Gotta wait for it, man. Gotta wait for it.
Tottenham trying to work hard to get this ball back. Do not let him do that. That's 4 he is. 4! Well, you can sense it, can't you? You just know it's coming. There we go.
Pierre.
Play, Sonny.
No, Pierre, take your time again, man. Take your time.
fuck off. Jesus Christ, what's that?
Come on, Pierre. There you go. Out wide. Kulu. Someone make a run now. Take him on then. Gio. Can he grab another? Kulu. Take him on. There you go. Gio, can he grab another winner? Basuma. Gio. Just playing it around them in the central areas, but we're just playing it around a bit too much. We're trying to create the perfect goal.
No one wants to
Gio, play that. Play him then. Udogi made a good run there. Romero.
But this is the opportunity.
There you go. There you go, Gio. Then Romero gives it away. Gio, why are you playing backwards there? Why are you playing backwards there? We're trying to create the perfect goal too much. There you go. Good win.
This is becoming so frustrating.
Basuma. Højbjerg. Kulu. Oh, that's just straight into Fabianski. Some are asking for Ange to make a change. Would you throw in... Bring on Hill Messi, says William McKenzie. He's bringing in Richie instead.
Here we go, Richie's on.
And I'm seeing Skip.
The box now.
I'm seeing Skip put on a kit.
Bringing Richie on will give us a target.
Well done, Pedro. Play him. When Gio and Brennan, you got to make that run, man. The run was obvious. It's not actually a bad ball by Gio if they're on the same page there. Well done, Udogi. Well done, Udogi again. Oh, sir.
No!
Sir.
If anything, it's a free on Udogi.
Højbjerg
yeah, we
off.
need this. This is the right change. Højbjerg's off. Well, I thought Højbjerg was having a good game, but bringing on Richie is the right move. We need a present in the box, someone that we can cross to. West Ham have blocked up all the passing avenues on the edge of the box. It's not working.
I thought Højbjerg was fine today, but it's a good just change in general.
It's a needs must, isn't it?
He's changing it up. He's just changing it up. He's making West Ham. He's making West Ham have to really defend now more for their lives here. But he's also taking off Lo Celso and adding on Skip, which I think is interesting. That means
Lo Celso's fading.
That means then perhaps Johnson moves out to the right, Richie on the left, and then Skippy through the middle. And Skippy through the middle and Kulu through the middle. I would imagine.
Unless he's gone with two up top.
Another set piece for Spurs.
Kulu picks it back up. No way is he giving the. Oh my!
I'm not sure if he's giving it. Maybe he's just stopped play for the sake of the player's safety here.
It's good delivery. Oh, come on, Spurs. Come on, Richie. You always goals, man. Come on, Richie. Just give me a proo. Give me a pigeon dance. That's what I've been missing this Christmas.
Shawnee Maddox saying, I think the press from Richie will be massive. Definitely could bring that extra, ignite maybe.
It's just to give us a focal point in the box so that we can start crossing the ball. No one wants to cross the ball because, in fairness, how do you expect to find Son above 6'2", 6'4" lads? At least now you can, when we get into them positions, we can start whipping crosses in and ask different questions of them. Because right now, all they're doing is sitting all 11 in front of the box and blocking up, and we're just passing it between the three midfielders.
Steve D saying we're looking for the perfect goal.
Yeah. But look, it's not just that, Will. I keep saying we can't cross the ball when you've got Sonny in there as your target. Basuma. Realize you've got Richie and start putting balls in the bloody box. What's the point of bringing them in otherwise? There we go.
Oh, nearly. See, this is the thing, though. This is why we could have tried some of these things earlier from either shots or crosses. You could get an own goal. You can get a bad deflection. Maybe Fabianski has a poor save or, ends up parrying it straight into somebody. Look at what even happened in West Ham's goal. They just had a shot and it deflected straight into their path, right? We could have done that a bit more. Good ball in from Pedro again. Good deliveries today from him.
His deliveries has been spot on. Basuma, back to Porro. Get it in.
Good delivery again. Richie! Oh, fuck!
Really the moment.
How is that not in?
Oh, Richie.
How is that not in? How is that not in? I thought that was in. Oh, my Lord.
How has he not scored? That's a sitter. He's on his own. It's an absolute sitter. It's not that far wide, but it's an absolute sitter. Oh, Richie.
Just
that was
the tail.
the moment.
It's just the classic story of Rich there.
But this is exactly why he's on. Keep getting the balls in there.
Still a lot of time.
Keep getting them in.
Still a lot of time. Keep doing exactly that. Richie should bang one.
There we go.
There you go, Rich.
Well done. Well done. Picks up a throw in. Adrian Tria feels like we forgot the shoot button on the PS5 in EFC. Look, that's the thing. If you're not going to cross the ball, right, then you have to start pulling the trigger in opportunities. I mean, we weren't doing that. But look, now we've changed it up a bit. We've brought on Richie to get balls in the box. So let's see what we can do. See if we get any joy that way. This is what I keep saying. We need a different... Well, maybe we don't if Richie scores. But a different option up front just so we can mix things up a little. Brennan Johnson looking to cut across. Basuma. Tottenham with a lot more urgency here. Romero striding forward. Go on, pop one. Slows it right down to Basuma.
Oh, sloppy pass from Basuma. Win it. Thank you, Sonny. Oh, someone win it again, please. Thank you, Basuma.
4 years there. Let's go. Kulu. Get it out wide. Look at Doji. Get your head up.
Johnson. Oh, Basuma's gotten sloppy now. Into Davies. Richie.
Kulu's gone into a central position with Johnson on the right. Sonny on the left. There's no point in just doing this. Like, the whole idea of getting them on is put balls in the box. It's where you're going to get your goal from. Sonny. On the overlap for Skip. Skip back to Sonny.
Davies. Nice. Into Skip.
Right, let's go. You've opened it up a bit of urgency. Romero.
Out wide to Porro. Straight off the chest. West Ham player. Nicely done from Romero. Into Basuma. See Sonny.
Give it out to Sonny.
See Rich. Nicely done, Sonny. Into Basuma.
Basuma.
There you go. Porro, have a hit! Oh! Good hit, Porro.
Oh, good effort. That's much better, though. That's quicker. Bit of urgency about it. Kulu on the ball.
Johnson. Oh, square it. Let's just flash that across the six.
Giving away a free kick. That's poor by Kulu. Doesn't need to do that. He was isolated. Come on, Spurs. "20 minutes left here to try and find something. Try and find that winner."
Richie's got to bang that. Hopefully he gets another one of those chances.
Yeah, it could come back to haunt us, that miss. Romero wins it again. Edoji. No, poor back pass to Vicario. No, that's 2-1. Oh, it's 2-1.
No!
That's shocking. That's absolutely
Are you
shocking.
serious?
Poor back pass by Edoji. James Ward-Prowse, I said it before the game, he always scores against Tottenham, always.
Oh my
and this
lord.
is what happens when you dick about. 2-1 West Ham.
Howler.
We've fucking done this to
Howler
ourselves
from
today.
Spurs. An
You can
absolute
sit here and say
howler.
both goals were lucky. We've done this to ourselves. Richie had an opportunity to try and go 2-1 up. We didn't take it.
So many chances to kill this game.
Livid. Absolutely bloody livid. He always does it against us. Always. It's just poor. We're not even under any pressure.
Doji, man. Oh, no.
Vicario, why is he not catching that as well, though, Vicario? What's he doing punching it?
I don't...
He's compounded an error in another area. Why doesn't he just come out and catch that? Why is he punching it?
Yeah, that's true.
Got to slide onto that and just collect it. Don't get what he's doing.
Oh, it's a howler in both of their parts.
We've done this to ourselves.
So lucky on both bounces for them as well, though.
It's what they do.
Wow.
Now they're arguing with each other. Great. Skip, good ball to Sonny. 2-on-1 on Sonny. No one there to help him either.
That's out. Well done, Sonny.
Are we really going to let them beat us up on our home turf? Are we really going to let them do that to us? Where's your pride?
That's ridiculous. We just got it's...
Where's your bloody pride? Oh, no. It's happening, isn't it? Everything's just going wrong now. It's why when you've got 85% possession, you have to go and score 2 or 3 goals. You just have to. I don't believe this. I don't believe it. Bottle jobs. Absolute bunch of bottle jobs. If I see any more of this sticking about and not getting balls into the box swiftly, I'm going to lose my shit. Ben Davies marauding forward.
Thank you, Johnson.
No, effort. Take him off. Get fucking Gil on.
Wasted chances today, man. He's wasted chances.
Get him off. She's still doing on. He's done nothing. Here they are again.
Skip, man.
Oh, for fuck's sake, when you start getting a hold of the ball, it's bouncing everywhere. Urgency.
Poro, please.
No, we want to dick about with it again. We want to still do the same things that ain't working.
Whip it in, Poro. There you go, Richie.
It's a handball, you better blow that. Salisbury. Sonny's got to whip this one in.
Come on, Sonny.
Richie, just get to the back post, slide in, throw your body at it. Everyone. Don't want to see bodies flying in at this.
Cleared away.
It's cleared.
Basuma to Kulusevski out wide. Poro looked frustrated there.
He's on. He's on. He checked his run. Bowen. Gets the cross in towards the back post. Kudos picks it up. They're just going to play with it out in the corner now. It's crossed in. Basuma clears. It's gone out for a West Ham throw-in. I don't believe we've bottled this. Massive mentality problem still within this club.
Just so much complacency set in. And just getting so punished for it.
I'll be 16 points thrown away from winning positions this year. 16. Can you believe that? 16. And we've had the games in our own grasp. Unbelievable.
It's another loss at home as well, potentially.
10 minutes left. Try and get a quick equaliser and go for the bloody winner. Why are they back to walking pace? Here we go. Everyone has to have a touch of the fucking ball. Just do something. Yep, make sure. Why not? Call Jeff out of the stand and give him a fucking touch. Good ball.
Skip, man.
Oh, Lord. He wants all day. He wants a week to Spain and back on the ball.
Oh, no. Breaking out here. Thank you, Romero. Basuma.
Why are you slowing it down?
Skip. Move for it.
Sonny. Gives it away.
Oh.
And they're out here. Of course it falls to Bowen.
Well done, Romero.
Oh, he's paid off. The line-out's paid off. I don't believe it.
Skip has been shocking since coming on. He's been useless. He's not even moving for the ball.
Look how pissed off Postecoglou looks. Look at the West Ham fans in there having a party. Someone boot the ball in on top of them. Oh, stop going fucking backwards. It's what got you in this position. Romero. There's no movement whatsoever.
Good pass.
Kulu. Do something. Richie's angling for that ball.
No one wants to whip it in.
No one. Everyone just wants to be big-time Charlies. Basuma, if I see him do this again, 20 more touches, get the ball out wide and instruct someone to cross it.
Davies.
I think he's the only one that actually understands the urgency.
Sonny. Udoji.
He may as well just left Richarlison on the bench at this point. What's the point of bringing him on? No one's going to cross it.
Pedro. Blocked.
Absolutely rattled they are. Gil and Sarr coming on. If Gil, if you want to make a name for yourself, that's it. Take Basuma off. He's slowing everything down. You're dead right. Take him off. Fucking get Harry Winks back to do that job today. Joke. And Johnson. Haul him off as well. He's been useless.
Still time. Still time.
Gil and Sarr are on for Basuma and Johnson. Ben Davies. Doji goes backwards. Romero. Going to have to be a bit more inventive than this, lads. West Ham have got everybody back in their own half.
Romero. There you go.
Porro,
Move it
get
out
it in.
wide to Pedro, man. Whip it. There you go. There you go.
Yo!
Oh.
Brian Hill getting across the front post there, trying to sneak in.
Straight into the keeper's arms.
Don't take his hand. How much? Did they need an invitation to pass it to Kudu? He's standing there looking at him before he does it.
Over the top,
great ball.
Richie.
Oh, it's just overhit. And he's on.
He's on as well. It's just needs to be inch perfect there. It's a great idea, and it's almost a terrific ball, but almost isn't good enough there.
That's ours. Get on with it quickly. While they're standing there moaning, get on with it. Oh, he's giving it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I just want to go to bed and cry at this stage.
This has been exactly how a lot of people predicted, but in the worst sort of manner because it's how people predicted it. It's exactly what everybody thought could happen. Vicario having to clear away twice there. Richarlison, not a great pass, but Udoji does well. Not a great pass from Richie. Mark saying this is Aston Villa all over again. In a way, it is kind of similar.
Bunch of ball jobs.
I would say this is worse than Aston Villa, where Aston Villa probably had more of a say to maybe get something out of the game. Where, I mean, West Ham created absolutely nothing. Good chance, though, Sonny, please.
Trigger.
Sar, Jesus, man.
Ballooned it.
Him and Basuma, two chances that I would say were very good, that they just skied over the bar.
Got to be hitting the target.
That's inside the box as well. That's what we have to remember with some of these. It's not like Spurs didn't create any chances. Some of these we've had moments like this where you're inside the box.
Sonny's coming off.
We dominated this match, Big Mike. I agree, man. It's hard to know then what to say other than what everybody sort of predicted. Where Spurs could dominate this match, it's just up to us to take our chances and step on their throat when we get the chances, and we haven't done that latter part where we didn't step on their throat, we didn't take those chances. And West Ham, like they do, whenever they stay in a match, they will come back and they can, if they are within punching distance, they will punch you. They can always play terrible for 90 minutes and still come back and win the game, or still come back and get something out of it. And we gave them that chance to do so, despite playing very well for the majority of this game. So it's really, really poor. I think we did not begin the first half or the second half though well. We did not start the second half. Started out the second half very poorly.
Oh, West Ham though was turning the screw on us a little. It's actually embarrassing. I'm actually livid with the players out there. You know, they thought they were big time Charlies, 1-0 up so easy against West Ham, prancing around like prima donnas. And this is exactly what happens. You think they would have learned from the other 13 points that they dropped from winning positions in previous games? No, they want to make it 16. And this is my point. They just don't learn. Just don't learn from their lessons. Sar. Good ball. Feliz.
Can't get a hold of
And
it.
West Ham are out again.
Well done,
Well
Romero.
done, Romero. Don't you dare.
Oh, my
He's just
Lord.
won the bloody ball, man. Oh, and he books him. Why not? Why not? Go book his wife while you're at it. It's a joke.
Oh, he wins
He's not
that
allowed to win the
cleanly
ball
as
anymore.
well. He literally wins that cleanly as well.
Gallagher, you know, talking about this on Sky Sports earlier on about why someone didn't get sent off for a challenge like that. And he said, because he won the ball. Well, what's he done there? You know, he blows a free kick. It's pretty fucking stupid. We've let them bully us this second half on our own ground. Probably be about a minute added on now. Get the head up and get going. If I see one back pass because it's going into the final minutes, I'm gonna go mad. Oh, there we go. Why not be Ollie Skip? Why not be Skip? Of course it is. What does he not understand? Is he brain dead? We're losing. We are losing. Clearly, it doesn't affect him like it does me. Get it
Kulu.
in. You've got Felice and Richie.
And a Richie, man, make more of an effort there. Poro, well done. Skip, Kulu. There you go. Hill, nicely done. Sar. There you go, Skip. There you go, Skip. Serve. There you go, Hill. Hill keeps
Why did we
cutting back
bother bringing on
inside.
Richarlison and Felice? No one wants to cross it. What was the way to bring them on?
Kulu. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, Lord. Sums up our evening, really, doesn't it? Just sums up the bloody evening.
That's Howler.
Just sums it up. Bunch of bottlers.
That's Howler.
Spurs fans are on their way out, and they're dead right. You know, it's not acceptable, that, today. I'm sorry, it's not. This is a derby. You talk about pride and stuff like that. It's 16 points for winning positions. It's just a joke. It's becoming a farce at this point. It happens every time this time of the year.
November and December are always just torrid times for Spurs. It's been the past 3 or 4 years where November and December have been never easy.
Can someone get a megaphone, get down to that right hand side, and scream for them to cross the ball? Why did we bring on Felice and Richarlison if you're not going to cross it?
That's foul, surely. Good free kick here. Good chance to grab an equalizer.
Either. At least just get it on target. If I see this go into that stand, I'm going to bed. He's not even making sure they're behind the white line that he just sprayed out. What's the point in taking time to spray it if he's not going to make sure they're behind it? Please, Poro. Please, Poro. Please. Hit the target.
Hits the wall. Hits the wall.
He's looking for a handball. They ain't going to give it. We don't get penalties. I don't even think we'll be giving one this season.
I doubt it. No, I don't think so.
It's not. It's come off his shoulder, is it? Well, he did put his hand towards it. He is right. They won't give it, though. We don't get penalties. He ain't going to get it. And anyway, even if we do, who's going to take it? All the penalty takers are off.
Have Romero take it.
He doesn't give it. What was the point? Honestly, what was the point of taking so long if they're not going to give it? Just eating up our time.
Hit it,
Strike
Hill. Hit it. Nice.
Well on Kulu.
Romero, nice.
done
Davies
that.
gets it. I don't think he meant that. There you go,
Get
Kulu.
it in.
Oh.
No, he doesn't want to cross it, of course. Why would he? Why would they want to
No,
cross
and
it?
he's gone down for nothing as well. He's gone down for nothing.
He's injured himself.
Has he?
He's hurt himself. That's Kulu done now. That's him out for a while. He knows it. Look at the way he's holding himself. He's gone down holding his face. It's all right. It could just be a toot.
Fuck's sake.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Look at him. Look at them celebrating. I'd say it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It's just another West Ham robbery, really. It's just a West Ham robbery. That's just... Spurs don't know how to finish their dinner. They really don't. And they also want to create the most perfect possible fucking goal in every scenario. And one, you cannot create the best possible goal. Why not settle for a half chance? Why not settle for a quarter chance? Why not actually just shoot it when you have pretty much a whole section of the goal to aim at? We just want to create the best possible tap-in or easy goal possible. And we're just going to get punished for it by teams like West Ham that are happy for us to play that way. I think we win this game if we actually just shoot and we actually just take more chances and we actually just take more risks. Felt like Spurs just want to keep playing till they create the best possible opening where they can just tap it into the back of the net. You don't necessarily need to do that every time. You can actually go for a hit. You can actually have an effort. Maybe you get a lucky deflection. Maybe you get a lucky bounce. Look at the 2 goals West Ham scored. Almost in a way, very lucky bounces on 2 occasions where they had a lucky bounce for their equalizer. Then they had a very lucky bounce off of the post for the 2-1, despite even it being a terrible error. And also, too, they're lucky in that they got a terrible error on the case of Udogie and Vicario. So I wish Spurs had taken more risks in this game because it's almost in the case of West Ham. They created absolutely nothing, but West Ham actually got their 2 goals from, in a way, just the other team creating, mistakes. And it felt like we never really forced West Ham to create a mistake. Instead, we just kept trying to create the best possible perfect goal. Why not try to create a mistake out of West Ham? Why not, have a shot at the keeper, make him have to make a good parry, make him have to push it out to the side instead of straight back into an oncoming forward or attacker? It was just frustrating to see us not at some stage just start firing balls into the box, like you say, cross the damn ball, or at least just force West Ham to make a mistake. And I don't think there was enough of us trying to force West Ham to make a mistake, if you ask me. Really wasn't enough of it. And that's what frustrates me the most, because they actually won the game off of our own mistakes, really. Actually, the first goal, I think, was just entirely lucky with the way it sort of deflected for them. But then the second goal, that's just us making a mistake, and they benefited from a mistake. Why didn't we try to do that in some sort of way? I don't know.
I'm absolutely livid. Absolutely livid. Look, all that possession means absolutely fuck all if you're going to think you've already made it. We went 1-0 up and we thought it was so easy. Assume a nice little 4 or 5 touches with Lascelles, so here and there. Prancing around the pitch, swanning around. Look at me. Look how fucking great I am. I'm absolutely fed up with it. That's 16 points from winning positions that we've dropped so far this season, and they're about to fuck it up again under yet another manager. It's always this period. And I'm sorry, it's not good enough. Absolutely not good enough. Either they're too big for the boots or they're absolutely brain dead. Even when we went to change the game off the bench there, you bring on Richarlison and you double down and you bring on Valise. Clear instruction. The tippy-tappy around the box, prima donna shit, ain't working. Get it out wide, get balls into the box. And I think they put 2 in. One which Richarlison should have scored from, by the way. But after that, I think they put 1 more in right at the death. I'm sorry. It's either brain dead or they think they're too big for their boots. But they got carried away and they cost us today. Them players out there owe us fans an apology. When you see West Ham fans in the corner of our ground, you see West Ham fan players on our pitch celebrating in front of us like they fucking won the World Cup. And them players owe us an absolute apology. They bottled that today. The mentality at this football club has not changed. It has not changed one bit, and they've absolutely bottled it. I'm livid with them today. Livid with them. I've given them all my support. I give them absolutely everything I have. And they bloody let me down today like that because they got too big for their boots and too arrogant, and they got sucker punched. We can sit here and say the goals were unlucky. But at the end of the day, when you don't go and kill teams and you get too big for your boots, you leave yourself open for that. Luck happens in football. Balls and bounces go your way. But it's up to us to take it away from that, not allow it to come down to them moments. And we absolutely failed. Every single one of them owe us a fucking apology. I'm livid with them. I don't want to see them for a day.
You bang on, Dave. And part of the many things they said are bang on, but part of the reason they bang on is simply because they got too big for their own heads. They go 1-0 up. I think they got too big. I think they started to think that game was over. West Ham are going to crumble. They can just sort of look pretty, pass it around, just sort of continue to create these combinations that will just eventually win over the crowd and win over West Ham. But West Ham dug in, got out of it, and we got punished for getting complacent. So much complacency once we went 1-0 up, and we got punished for having a big head. I don't even know if it's... I think it's the mentality that's still seeping through from previous years of Spurs. But Dave, I mean... It's almost like we got too big of a head once we went 1-0 up, and the way that we were passing it around them, the way we were dominating them. It's like we don't really want to put our foot on their throats, really, in these sort of situations. I don't really get it. Why don't we want to do that? Why don't we want to punish a team when we find ourselves in this type of situation? Why not just grab the second, grab the third, grab the fourth, grab the fifth, if you know what I mean? There's no shame in, putting your foot on their throat, making this an embarrassing result for West Ham. We just don't want to do that, really. And we got punished for it. And West Ham benefited from 2 very, very lucky goals. But I think they kind of should have, because we just decided not to have that mentality like you speak to.
Look, Jack, in the tight games, in the tight situations, I hate to say it, but they're looking for Harry Kane to step up and bail them out. They're still looking for that guy to step up and bail them out. They didn't have the answer. And look, let's be honest, they couldn't put crosses in the box because who are you putting it into? You can't ask Son to go and compete with their 2 centre-halves. You're never going to get any joy whatsoever. But then you expect players, okay, if we know that, pull the trigger a bit more. Try different stuff. We just kept them running up to the edge of their own box, tippy-tappy, play it back, across the side. We've seen this against Brentford at the start of the season. Another game where we drop points in, by the way. It's just not good enough. They don't have that killer instinct. They don't want to go and win. Anytime we get anywhere near close, we end up falling off. We got off to a fire start under Conte last season. As soon as the pressure comes, as soon as people start talking about them potentially doing something, they absolutely bottle it. And then today, they're looking for someone to step up. That's the problem. Every single player is looking for someone else to step up and be that man. Go be that man yourself. Go and do it yourself. I'm sorry, but that's absolutely bottle job today. And I know people may say, look, Dave, you're overreacting, but I'm sorry. You cannot have 80-something% possession, have your foot on their neck, have them absolutely pen back, and then come out and put in a second half like that. All West Ham done was turn up the ante, turn up the pressure a little bit. And it actually didn't take much for us to crumble. It was the exact same against Aston Villa, exact same against Wolves. It's a weak mentality, and they're not winners. They don't want to win. They don't want to. Why did I get my hopes up?
What's the point of going 1-0 up and dominating teams like that if you're not going to just finish out the game and just win in that sort of fashion? If you're just going to continue to, like you say, just bottle it and just find ways to let the team back into it and just sort of take all the points when you've actually had probably the better performance, it's really just, it's what's the point? And it's, I don't know what these players can do to change it, but they need to figure out a way to do it as quickly as possible because it's happening over the past November and December period all too much. I think there's been so many winning positions we found ourselves in this past November and December, and we couldn't finish out the game. And even when we've had maybe not as, all the players that we need to our disposal, like Van de Ven, Madison, etc., but that shouldn't really be the excuse. It can't be the excuse. There's enough good players out there that we should be able to see out all 3 points. And West Ham, they kind of looked like they were pretty intimidated and pretty lost by the way that we came out of the gates, and just didn't take advantage of it. Really didn't. And we didn't show enough class, and we didn't show enough sort of like we had been there before in that type of scenario to step on their throat, finish out the game, go 2-0 up at halftime. And once you're 2-0 up at halftime, like we wanted us to be, I think West Ham would struggle to have come out the gates in the second half. But the fact that we only left it 1-0, they felt like they still had something in it and there was still a chance for them. So I don't know. I think the moment that we went into that first half 1-0 up, and also we came out very slow in the second half and got really punished for it.
Yeah, but look, this it goes again, Jack. We just don't learn from our lessons. I mean, it happened to us at Chelsea. It's happened to us at Wolves. It's happened to us at Villa. We nearly lost it against Man City again on Sunday. When are we actually going to learn from our lessons? When? We're not. It's just the same old that always lets us down, and I'm absolutely fed up with it. In fact, I don't want to see anything from Spurs social media. I just want to see an apology to the Spurs fans. We apologize for getting our heads too big and not performing. I'm sorry. It's absolutely disgraceful from every single one of them. I hate to say it, but it's games like that today, and games like the Wolves game, games like the Aston Villa game, where we fucked up selling Harry Kane. They were looking for someone like Harry Kane to pull us out of the mire today. I spoke about the equalisers and all the winners he got us last season, and that's exactly what they were looking for today. We didn't have any presence in the box whatsoever, none whatsoever. And I don't blame Son. It's up to us to have the solutions in terms of personnel when we come up against teams that are going to play low block. That ain't Sonny's fault today. We had to move him out wide just to try and get him on the ball. I mean, we've got massive work to do this January.
It's disgusting to see West Ham fans and West Ham players celebrating a terrible performance like that in our own stadium like that. It really is disgusting. And I don't know. It's also more disgusting, I guess, because we knew that we were the better team, and we knew that we could have easily won this game 2-0, 3-0 by even the end of the first half. And there's just this sort of complacency that seems to continue to set in our team. And we've had this complacency set in us whether we've been playing defensively, whether we've been playing attacking, and I don't really get it. I don't know what these players want. Why is it that we continue to bottle 1-0 leads with either a defensive mindset or with an attacking mindset? We've done it with attacking managers now with Ange, and we've done it in the past with defensive managers where we bottled 1-0 leads like this. It really is just speaks to some sort of mentality issue more than it does a tactical issue. Adrian Chia is saying second half was crap. Don't believe I stayed up for this. I think you should. I mean, it's West Ham, and sort of I think we were foaming at the mouth thinking this was going to be a big result for Spurs, and that's because Adrian Chia, the way that we started that game was how we predicted. I think a lot of us thought that we were going to absolutely dominate them, overwhelm them, and kind of force them into mercy in some sort of regard, but we couldn't find a way to just sort of grab a second. And I think there was a million ways we could have, just like I said, just taking maybe one of those chances to shoot where we decide to pass, maybe firing in across where it was, open and they were asking us to do so. It's just the lack of just sort of risk taking and nobody really wanting to just take it on themselves to just grab that second. We got punished for it, but I think this was a game that Spurs fans all sort of were really up for. I think they were going for 3-1 predictions, etc., and rightfully so. And even the way that we were playing in that first half looked like it could have been a 3-1 or something like that, but just got punished and, got way too complacent, my man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Adrian. And Tyler,
They were
remember
acting like they were playing
yeah.
the rondos in training.
Yeah, they were, and they were just trying to walk the ball into the back of the net after 1-0. It's weird that Spurs trying to walk the ball into the back of the net after 1-0, but then also under Jose and Conte, the moment we go 1-0 up, we just sit back and just try to hold out a 1-0 result. It's sort of like, what do these guys want? Yeah, it's becoming just complacent with two different styles of football that we've become complacent with. Tyler, for member for 18 months as a fan show member, saying, how can we only ever have one good half of play for 90 minutes? Do they even care, man? Every season, doesn't matter who's on the pitch. They have become spineless, or they are spineless. Dave, you're really upset with the players, and do you think we haven't exactly had a full 90-minute performance this season? I think we have had really good performances for a large majority of games. It's just it's been a similar story this season of us not being ruthless enough in the final third, and us not just taking some of these chances and just deciding to be more ruthless and just sort of go, grab that second, grab that third goal, and then you buy yourself the win.
Yeah, look, but the reality is you have to create them. We didn't create them today. There was a couple of decent chances there, but they were half chances. We didn't really create an awful lot whatsoever. But nor did it look like anyone wanted to. Even the running off the ball was poor. No one wanted to make runs in behind. Everyone wanted their feet. You could sit here and make arguments that they're tired, but I don't buy it. West Ham have been playing Europe. We haven't, so I don't buy that they're tired. It's just a weak mentality. It's just. Honestly, they thought it was that easy. They thought they could dick about, and lessons learned today. You only do that when you're 3-4-0 up, not when you're 1-0 up. It's just not good enough. It's just weak and spineless. It's the same pattern we keep seeing in and around the October, November, December period. You go back and look at the amount of managers over the last few years that we've sat in and around there. And no matter who we bring in, we can't change that mentality. They all come in about speaking about wanting to change it and trying to change it, but it just seems like they can't seem to change that mentality for whatever reason. And I'm at the point, I just can't quite put my finger on it. Like the reality is we've actually played some really good football today at times. The majority of this season, we've played really good football, even in the games we've lost. But I'm sorry, there has to come a point where you just have to stand up, you have to put an end to it. You have to go on and become something. You have to go on and push on. You have to learn from your mistakes. We just don't do that. Just don't do that. And I don't know why. But whoever comes in here and tries to change the mentality, they can't for some reason. And I'm not sure why. I can't even put my finger on it anymore.
Yeah, and someone saying in the chat there, Starsky, saying this trying to walk it into the net type of stuff is getting boring. I kind of agree with that. It's becoming...
It's because they don't have anyone in the box. They don't have a target man to hit.
Yeah, or even the confidence in themselves, like I sort of was suggesting earlier, to just take that half chance, or, like if it requires you to just go for a curler, go for that curler. But instead, they're just going to pass it on to somebody else, to then pass it on to somebody else, to then pass it on to somebody else. And then all of a sudden that half chance or that maybe little opening is maybe gone. And that was actually the better chance all of a sudden in the first place, right? And it felt like we hadn't seen enough of that. And that might be because we don't have enough players in the team that are proper goal scorers that will just put their head down and bang it. I think at one stage, Sonny was sort of, even guilty of that. And normally he's somebody that I don't have to say that about, where normally, you see Sonny just take the chance, shoot it. But one of this, situation, it's like, Sonny, just shoot it, man. Like, be selfish, just take it yourself. But instead he wanted to square it and he didn't. And we're seeing that more from, I think, other players than really Sonny. But I think it's just an example, I think, for the purpose of it. And that we don't have enough players, at least in my opinion, Dave, that they have a bit of an opening, just take it, fire the shot, see if you get a lucky bounce, see if the keeper ends up, making a howler of a save, or see if you end up hitting it top bins and it goes into the side netting. There have been some chances in this game that we just didn't take, or even when we did have them in front of us, we saw it just blazed over the bar, or we saw it missed. Even Richarlison had an excellent chance to go 2-1 up straight away, and that looks like a brilliant then substitution from Ange Postecoglou, but he misses it, and then West Ham instead, grab the winner, and that's just also painful to see. Is someone like Richarlison miss a chance like that, right? That we got absolutely punished for that, and adds to sort of the Richie story, and adds to the fact that we don't have a clinical striker other than Sonny up front to really lean on or depend on in any sort of way. And also
But that's
too, yeah, go
yeah.
ahead, go ahead.
That's the difference right there, though, Jack. If that falls to Harry Kane, it's in the back of the net, and this
Hmm.
is what we're talking about,
It's a
But I'd
different game
also
after
argue,
that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, and I'd also argue, Jack, when it comes to low block teams, Sonny's movement is the movement of a winger. When we're playing long balls over the top, his movement is better than any other striker I've seen. But when it comes to low block teams, because he's so used to playing out on the wide and he's not a natural striker, he doesn't have that movement to be able to create half yards and slipstreams for people to slide the ball in for him, just like a normal striker would. Like that's why Richarlison gets into such great positions in the box, but he just doesn't have the finishing. It's almost at this point, if you could merge Richarlison and Son together, you'd have the ultimate striker. But this is the problem: we don't. We need the ultimate striker. The reason why Richarlison gets the ball, the chances, is because he has that movement that I'm on about. The guy just wouldn't hit a barn door with a fucking bulldozer. That's the problem. And then Sonny just doesn't have the movement when low block teams come. He doesn't know what he's doing, and he's also part of the problem. Always coming to the ball, wanted to play this tippy tappy. He doesn't have the smartness to move away from the ball, create space, and stuff like that. And it's a huge problem. Um, and the reason why the tippy tappy stuff happened today is because we don't have anyone in the box that's a fox in the box that knows how to make these movements. When the ball goes out wide, make movements towards the front post, make movement towards the back post. Almost that your movement sort of demands that ball coming in. But what you're seeing right now is Kudo and Johnson won't put it in there. No one will, because A, there's no one making that movement, but B, there's nobody to aim for. That's why we ended up just playing right in front of West Ham today. It's a huge problem, an absolute huge problem, and one that we made our own in the summer. Okay, Harry Kane wanted to go, but what they knew about that, so why didn't they go out and try and address the position properly? They wanted to give Richarlison another year. That's why, And look, I can understand it to a certain degree, but surely you have to have an insurance policy. And they didn't do that. And look, we're paying the price for it now over this run. I'm sorry to say, but we are.
We got absolutely punished for Richie not taking his chance there at some stage. And I think also as well, Spurs ultimately, I think, don't really have that sort of second guy to lean on other than Sonny in these type of games. And if Sonny is going to be stifled by a low block, you hope to have somebody else then that can either be the solution to that and can be that guy that can either knock it down to somebody and, makes the chance easier, or can be that fox in the box that's needed in these sort of type of games. But I think it's just becoming a bit too much of the same thing this season, of us just sort of kind of, ending up losing the game or ending up not getting the most convincing result for kind of sort of the same reasons. And a lot of it actually has been in the attacking areas than always exactly the defensive areas. I think we knew with some of the injuries we've had this season and everything that the defense wasn't going to be the most relied on, but I don't know, we just don't have that second guy to rely on. We now have, I mean, with Kane gone, we are now realizing what we had before, which was two reliable goal scorers in Kane and Son. Now we only really have one in sort of these low block type of teams as well. We really benefited from having both of them at the same time, because either of them could have finished the chance, or one of these rebounds, one of these deflections pops their way. And then all of a sudden, if we find ourselves bearing that chance, and then we are 2-1 up, like Richarlison had. That could have been Kane, but the fact that it's really only now just Son, I think makes it a lot harder on ourselves. Some are upset as well with, I guess, some of the substitutions from Ange. Mark saying Ange messed up today. You don't bring on Skip for Lo Celso when you're 2-1 down. I was a little confused by Skip's substitution, to be honest. I was for the Richarlison substitution, and I was all right with the Hill Messi substitution as well. But yeah, I don't know whether I could really throw that immediately on Postecoglou, but Skip I don't think really did himself much service. I think he looked even nervous when he was gone, when he was in the team. And also even Brett agreeing with that too, saying bringing on Skip at 2-1 down really is an attacking move. Subs too late, and we miss our chance after chance. We could have signed Ward-Prowse and Madison, plus another center back, plus a striker when we sold Kane. Maybe, haven't exactly used the Kane money fully, or if we have, then we haven't used it properly. Foggy Martin saying lacking creativity. I'm still positive for the long term. Need some class on the wings. I'm still positive for the long term when it comes to Ange, because it's hard to criticize anything on sort of the tactical end. In his case, I think he's put a lot of these players in great positions to score and put these players in great positions to create for each other and to create good goal scoring opportunities, but they're just not being clinical enough, or they're just not taking these chances, or being in a way courageous enough to take it for themselves. And I think it's become really frustrating, actually, because I don't know what Ange can really do other than basically sub himself on and then just decide to shoot it himself or tap it home himself. I think there's really not much else he can do when it comes to the creative department. He's done a very good job at causing problems to Man City, causing problems to West Ham today, Aston Villa too. I think we created a plethora of chances, a catalog of chances. And even in the beginning of the season, there were a few occasions where we actually said to ourselves, between Dave and I, like, yeah, I mean, we're creating a lot of chances, but these score lines are not as convincing as a team that actually has created the most chances in the league so far this season and has had the most touches in the penalty area of any team in the league so far this season. A lot of the stats show that Spurs are right in front of the attacking area and are doing a better job than almost any team in creating openings and creating chances, but we're actually so far not as clinical as some of the rest of the teams, and some of these score lines are therefore not as convincing as the attacking play. So I don't know how much I can really blame Ange, other than maybe sub himself onto the pitch and I guess tap it home himself, because Dave, I mean, the forwards and the attackers, and I think some of the players today, I mean, they got to be more clinical, because Ange is doing a good job in putting them in the right areas to succeed and create goals and score goals. And that's what he's all about.
Absolutely. Like, he's getting them into the final third. He works with them week in, week out. He's getting them into the positions. It's up to us and up to the players out there after that then to, find that bit of spark, that bit of creativity, bury the chances that you do get. Look, this isn't Ange Postecoglou, by the way, and no doubt he's going to come out and take the blame for today's game. He's going to come out and take the blame for today's game, 100%. But, he would have also been living with them players at halftime. He would have also got stuck into them in that dressing room at halftime for not going to kill the game. Look, this isn't on Ange Postecoglou. That's on the squad of players out there. They got too big-headed. They dominated possession. So that clearly shows that the tactics are working, right? We had more touches in their box than they did in our box, which shows the tactics are working. Today, it's not Ange Postecoglou. It's down to the group of players.
And he also wants more class on the wings. Foggy Martin, Dave, at one stage, started screaming at his screen for somebody to whip in across. That's what we need, I think. Foggy is somebody who can actually take on their man, create that separation, create that opening, and then whip in a decent cross into the box. We were very reliant on Pedro Porro to do that in a lot of periods, just to be the guy out wide to do that. Kulusevski, we know, likes to cut inside, doesn't feel as comfortable about that right-footed cross. Udoji, I think he likes to sort of set up a bit more inverted and, makes more runs beyond the back line than he really is setting up out wide to whip in the cross. And then Brennan Johnson today, I think, was probably the most wanting of all the sort of forwards. I think he found himself with a lot of good chances to either shoot, a lot of good chances to either create a goal for himself or set up something more for himself or set up a goal for somebody else. And he didn't do any of that at any stage. And he found himself with some really good chances to create something. And I wouldn't even say, there was something specific, but it was he could either shoot or there was so many chances where it's just do something and create something for yourself or create something for somebody else. And he just couldn't do it. He didn't take advantage of the really good spaces and the really good chances that he had. So some of the wingers today, I think, really let us down, Foggy Martin. To be honest, we've invested already a bit in that area. So either one of them is going to need to go or I think one of them is going to need to go then if you feel like we need more class in the wings. Either that's for Richarlison, Hill. I guess Solomon's going to come back at some stage soon this season, but Perisic is, I guess, already gone. So there is maybe some space to bring in another winger, but a really disappointing day from Brennan Johnson in particular, I must say.
Mm. Well, I just wish the kid would wake up and realise the opportunity that he's got at the palm of his hands. 22 years of age, is already crying from the Championship, from the bottom half of the Premier League to a club that's in the top half of the Premier League. And he's just not grasping the opportunity. He's playing scared out there. We signed him for that explosiveness, for the goal threat that he posed, for the chances that he created. And right now he's playing within himself. He's playing scared. And I just wish he wakes up soon rather than later and finds, realizes the opportunity that's in front of him. He's achieved a hell of a lot by 22, but he's in grave danger of losing it all if he doesn't wake up very, very quickly. Could very easily just end up on the scrap heap, like a lot of them Welsh wingers do. They all start off with great promise, Wilson, people like that, but all end up on the scrap heap. He better not go down that path, and he better wake up.
Yeah, a lot of players after today's performance really need to wake up, and people really seem to be, in particular, very upset about. I think the substitution of Skippy. Scooter React saying my egg on toast for breakfast has more creativity than Skip. Skip just looks nervous sometimes. I think in this sort of style of play. To be fair, like I think it's asking a lot more of his technical ability than might actually be there or might actually exist in the first place. I don't know if he's actually really suited for this style of play, and I think then he gets nervous and struggles to have a great touch at times, which you kind of need in this sort of system as well. You do need to be pretty technically sound on the ball. And I find it funny how much criticism there can be more for Højbjerg and, his, sort of technical skill, whether he's suited for the system. I'd definitely throw that more on Skip's doorstep than I ever would Højbjerg, especially in that case. Even if Højbjerg isn't meant for this style of player or this system, really throw that more towards Skip than I would him, just because Skip looks nervous at times and just his touch can be just erratic, and even too defensively I don't think he's as reliable as he used to be when he was under Nuno.
Look, I'd argue I don't even think he was that reliable under Nuno. I think the flaws to his game were already there. People just overlooked him because he was better than Harry Winks at the time.
We were desperate.
Well, yeah, we were that desperate, It wasn't hard to do. The guy showed a bit of passion and a bit of energy and ran about. However, when we brought in more technical players, as you can see, that just is nowhere near enough. And look, just to maybe try and explain the substitution, we were getting forward, but every time we lost the ball, West Ham were countering very, very quickly. And I think the idea to bringing on Ollie Skip was to try and protect us a little bit more in terms of West Ham when they turn it over and help try and protect us on the counter, because he did drop Kulu into the middle, Son out to the left, Johnson out to the right. So I think he tried to get the creativity through Kulu. However, it just didn't work. But I think that was maybe the logic behind the substitution.
And a lot of people,
not saying it's right. Yeah. I think that's the logic, though.
And a lot of people feel like they've seen this movie 100 times before, when they sort of saw us 1-0 up in that sort of position at halftime as well. On to Azad Hamid. Big up to you, Azad Hamid, saying, I say it week in, week out. Players like Højbjerg and Davies should never be played ahead of our younger talented players. Atrocious duo. Højbjerg is crap. In the case of Davies, I wanted Dorrington or Emerson instead. Dorrington, I hope, gets some sort of opportunity sooner rather than later. But Davies, it's hard to. I need to look back at the goals. Maybe he was at fault for one of them in a particular way. But I think the first goal, we just got really unlucky there with that sort of deflection and that sort of bounce. That's typical West Ham, though. And that's also on us for not bearing our chances, not finishing our dinner earlier. And we got punished for it. On the second occasion, that's on Udogie and Vicario. I think Vicario was confused because, just quickly, Dave, on that, just a random tangent. Udogie is in the wrong in the first place for playing that pass. Is Vicario caught in two minds where he's confused about whether he can pick that up, because if he picks that up, it's then it might be an indirect free kick, right? Because he would then be picking up a back pass, right, in some sort of regard. Am I getting the rules right in that sort of scenario where that might end up leading to an indirect free kick of some kind or some sort of kind of a set piece for West Ham, which is probably better than what actually happened, but maybe that's where Vicario parried it instead of catching it, because if he had, then that would have been a clear back pass.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on there, Jack. Absolutely spot on there. But at the end of the day, take it. You know, you can
Yeah.
get 11 men on the line if
Yeah.
you have to. You know, the chance of them getting the ball in the net with 11 men standing on the line is very slim to none. So it's just about split second decision making. I mean, Keane spoke about it, about Ben Davies after the game against Man City on the second goal. In moments, second decisions is what you have to make, but we tend to lately make the wrong ones. But look, it all started with a Doji. The reason why that happened and Gary was under pressure in the first place, because it was such a nonchalant back pass. No pace on it whatsoever. It was just sort of tapped back to him, which allowed Bowden to get on his jets after it, which put Vicario under pressure. So it started with a Doji just being too nonchalant, thinking, not even aware of what's going on. And this goes back to what I was saying about most of the game, especially in the first half. Too big-headed, too nonchalant, too arrogant. If he's just clued into what's going on, he can still pass it back, but pass it back with a bit more weight on it so Vicario can clear it. The pass isn't the problem. It's just how nonchalant he was about it.
Yeah.
And again, it's come back to cost us. And look, Dozi's only got himself to blame. That's what happens when you become arrogant, and hopefully he learns from that.
Yeah, I think it's a poor bit.
I actually don't blame Vicario. I blame Doji.
If you are going to look back in hindsight, you could say Vicario should have done that, like you say, just gather the ball, pay the punishment for it later, maybe then end up conceding later, but it's still then, you don't contribute as much to the mistake. But I think that's what happened. If I'm going to try to put myself in Vicario's position, I think he got caught in two minds where he was sort of like, if I catch this, I think this is automatically a straight indirect free kick. If I parry it, I can make it look like maybe, I am defending, maybe a pretty errant back pass, which maybe you are in your rights to do in that situation. But then he gets unlucky with it. Really, again, lucky bounce for West Ham off of the post, I must say as well, because they should have buried that. But then the fact that they missed it, I was like, oh, thank God. And then it just bounces straight back to Ward-Prowse like that, which is just sort of typical in a way that they get that sort of bounce as well.
Do you know why he earned that look, Jack? Because he was the first one to respond to Vicario back pass. Davies, Romero, all too slow to respond to it. So he actually earned that bit of look.
Sure.
In fact, I'd actually look at it. It hit the post. It gave us a second opportunity to get men back behind Vicario and try and get it clear. But the fact that no one was even running back shows they all stood there watching. They all stood there ball watching.
And then in the case of what Azad has brought up here, I think we touched on Davies. I think Davies, I don't think was actually that bad on the day. I love ripping into Davies, but I don't know if I can do it straight away without looking back in some of the game and maybe picking out some parts of it. But I don't think I don't think at the end of the day he was the real problem or the main problem on the day. And then a lot of hate out there, I must say, in the chat, as well as, I'm not saying hate, maybe a strong word, but a lot of criticism from Azad here, as well as people in the chat for Højbjerg, saying that he's been atrocious today, and some are saying they don't want to see him again.
Look, first of all, when it comes to Ben Davies, right? I mean, look, for once he's actually not at fault, and I actually agree with you, Jack. I don't think you put that on or anything really. Any of them goes really on Ben Davies there. Of course, I'd have to go back and have a second look and a serious analysis of it. But from what I see, I'm not sure you can put it on Davies. Whereas when it comes to Højbjerg, look, I thought Højbjerg done a lot, today. In terms of, if you go back and look at the game, the amount of times the ball would pop into him when he's back to the final third, and he'd pop it around the corner and get us going. The problem is when we got going and we got West Ham players up, the wingers slowed it right down. And the reason why is because they don't have anyone in the box. So they slow it right down. It allows everyone to get back behind the ball. And then, in effect, you're asking Basuma and Højbjerg to do what Lo Celso's job is, which is create. There are a couple of decisions there before Højbjerg got taken off that he got wrong in terms of rushing the pass. And that's ultimately where the actual criticism, I think, is coming from Højbjerg. Them few passes he misplaced before he came off. That's Lo Celso's role. That's what he's in the team to do. And, if we're blaming him for the lack of creativity today, you're looking in the wrong place. That's why we pay Brennan Johnson. That's why we pay Kulu. That's why we pay Son. That's why we pay Lo Celso. Look, Højbjerg's not a void from it either, but let's not blame him just for the lack of creativity. Yeah. That was an issue on everybody. Yeah. But I think what Zed is probably getting at is just when certain players play, there's a dip in performances, there's a dip in results. And no matter how well we play, no matter how much possession we dominate, somehow we find a way to lose the game. And I think that's more the point probably Azid is trying to get to.
Yeah, I don't think Højbjerg personally, and I have huge Højbjerg goggles, I admit. I don't think Højbjerg was as bad as some might say. Thought he actually added a lot to the game, especially in the first half. I think he was more of an embodiment of what we were trying to do, which is pass it quickly, move it quickly. I think he kept the tempo up and was quite quick in moving it. First touch, two touch. I thought he had a good sort of urgency to his game and played a lot of really nice passes. Even at one stage, Dave, we were both sort of just oozing over one of those passes he played in behind with the outside of his foot with one of those huge switches of play. I think he was actually especially pretty decent in the first half. Maybe in the second half, his performance as well as maybe a few players started to drop off. Intensity started to drop off. But I do find it funny that a lot of people are so quick to go after Højbjerg, who I don't think really even, right, he didn't even play the majority of the game, ended up being subbed off, and I don't think he ended up losing us the game in any sort of capacity. I don't think he was even the main problem really on the day. I would look more towards players like Brennan Johnson. I'd look more towards some of the forwards, and I would look more towards some of the creative players that had chances to fire or had chances to score and didn't take them. And that's where I think my kind of issue is players that had the chance to score, had the chance to maybe fire something and challenge the keeper and didn't. I don't know if Højbjerg is exactly in that sort of department for me. And Brennan Johnson especially, I think I would probably throw a bit more criticism towards than really Højbjerg personally. And I'm seeing more criticism for Højbjerg in the chat than I am actually for Johnson. And maybe that's because Johnson's a new player and I can understand that. And Højbjerg is a very divisive player and I have a bit more bias towards him. But I don't think this was really the game where Højbjerg exactly ruined the game or really lost us the game. I think there are other players that maybe are more guilty of that.
Look, like I said, I can understand the anger with some of the passes he gave away before he came off. I think you're right, Jack. First half, I thought he was good, actually. Second half, just lacked any sort of conviction into his game. But look, I've just been reading there, and rumors have it Postecoglou was absolutely seething after the game, unimpressed completely, very unhappy with the squad. Spoke about the lack of conviction in the forward areas actually today, the lack of conviction of looking to kill the game off before halftime.
Yep.
Told everybody he wouldn't
Agree
be
with
happy
all
with
that.
halftime. He'd absolutely light into them, and that's what I keep saying to people. And to be fair to Postecoglou, he's took a lot of slack for them so far this season. The fact that he's laying the blame on their door today, absolutely fair play to him, and he's absolutely 100% right to lay the blame on their door today. They owe us an apology, and like I said, it's nothing to do with Postecoglou today. It's to do with the players out on the pitch. They weren't hungry enough. They didn't want to seize the opportunity. They don't have a league title in their sights like some of us fans do. They just have mediocrity in their sights, because if they had the league title, you would have seen them fight to the end and do everything they can to go and win that game. And I hate to say it, but just like Arsenal did against Luton, just like Liverpool did against Fulham last week, if they had a league title in their minds, they would have got over the line today. The fact that they don't, what's their goal? What do they actually want to achieve? Because if they had a goal, they would have killed West Ham off early.
Yeah, and they should have. I agree with Ange that that's where the problem was. I think the problem was in the forward areas, and I think the problem was in a lack of conviction, and so much complacency in that final third. Maybe we can throw criticisms towards certain defenders or certain midfielders, but I don't think that's exactly where the main problem was on the day. I don't think it's on the midfield or really on some of the defenders really today. I think it's more in that final third with the lack of conviction, because they couldn't complain with a lack of chances, or they found the ball and they got the ball in good areas, facing the goal, facing their defender, right, with momentum, running at them in good areas with good positions, and they didn't do much with it. And so that, I think, falls on them, and I agree with Ange in that case. And he's also, as well, taken blame in certain games where, like, we sort of had a bit of the same problem, like a bit of sort of the same thing kind of happened, where we didn't end up having that conviction, and we were a bit complacent on the day with whatever chances we had, and he took the blame for it. And now this time, maybe, like you say, he hasn't exactly done that. And that's fair play to him, because I think he's almost used that sort of line or that excuse maybe far too many times, where he's sort of put it down to something else than it really was, and I think it really is just on that complacency and on that lack of mentality and just stepping on their throats there and taking advantage of it. Really is.
What I will say is, though, we're entering dangerous times. We've seen before, these players can't take home truths. They can't take criticism. Conte tried to do it. Jose tried to do it. They can't take it. So we're entering dangerous times when he's coming out and criticizing the squad. I just hope that their squad take it in the right way and understand that it is them. Look themselves in the fucking mirror for once, and understand. Look yourself in the mirror and say, have I done enough today? Have I done enough under this manager? We're entering dangerous times at Tottenham. It'll be very interesting to see how it goes over the next couple of weeks, because as much as I didn't want to believe in this same old pattern coming back to cost us in October, November, December, as much as I want to believe Andrew's the guy to get us out, and I truly believe it, the players have to want to do it as well. And it just seems like when we get into this sort of rut, we can't quit. So we're entering dangerous times.
Yeah.
Entering dangerous times.
On to Newcastle from here, everyone. It's confusing again.
And I just want to clarify.
Yeah.
Sorry, just quickly. I just want to clarify, Jack, because I know people are going to say, "Are you questioning Ange?" I ain't questioning Ange at all. I'm questioning the squad. Just to be clear, I'm questioning the squad because they easily threw Conte out of this club, easily threw Jose and Nuno out of this club. And I tried warning people they'll do the same to Postecoglou. So I'm aiming that at the players and at the squad, nowhere near Postecoglou, so don't get it mixed up.
I would maybe throw even to almost settle kind of even that debate of, putting pressure on Postecoglou here. The fact that Spurs, both under a defensive manager and Conte, found a way to bottle 1-0 leads when going up quite early and playing defensive and conservative, they found a way to lose it. They found a way to lose it at the end, and they would concede in similar ways, and they would end up losing in the game in similar ways. And now we're playing under a progressive, more attacking manager. We go 1-0 up all over them. Should find that way to go 2-0 up, and we don't, and we do end up losing the game, and we do end up conceding, giving them the game. So the fact that we're doing this under two different styles of play, I mean, it's I don't know if there's much of a middle ground or anything that can really be achieved. Clearly, it's a huge mentality issue when we find ourselves in these winning positions, and that needs to be somehow eradicated, somehow fixed, and hopefully it can happen sooner rather than later. Newcastle, it's hard too, because I feel like we take a lot of positives in the way that we were playing, but I don't take any positives from the mentality in this game. So Newcastle, I hope we just go into it far more focused and actually securing the 3 points than we were in this situation and than we were in this game. But I hope we can continue actually some of the same spells of play, because some of the spells of play we were absolutely scintillating. We were all over them. And if we can keep that up, and then also push for the 3 points, that's the recipe that we need. But we're doing one without the other right now, and it's frustrating.
It is, but I just sort of wondering, Jack, what's it going to take for them to respond? How many more bollockins do they need to get? They had one at halftime against City last week. The players came out and spoke about it. They had one after the Villa game. They had one after the Wolves game. When are they going to respond to it? Look, big game at the weekend. If we lose that, Champions League is at risk, severely at risk. So they better pull themselves together. They better send me an apology, by the way, and then they go out there and get the victory at the weekend. Even that is not going to take up for it. It's going to take 4 or 5 games to make up from this. But they owe the fans the apology. I don't want to see any of them, going out there, start leaking shit to the press now. They're unhappy with training. They're unhappy with this, that, and the other. I want to hear it. I just want you to come out and say, look, guys, our performance today was nowhere near good enough. We got too big-headed. We took our foot off the gas, and it's unacceptable to have any London rival celebrate a victory on our turf. That's all I want to hear. I don't want to hear anything about training or anything behind the scenes. I just want an apology.
Stefan Blois ending it off here. Appreciate you, Stefan. Even if we might have a different opinion on things, I do appreciate you still tuning in, sir. And he says, if we go 1-0 down on Sunday, maybe we'll actually win. Yeah, I guess it's sort of back to the old days under Conte and Jose, where we actually got scared if we went 1-0 up in the first half, because then it meant that Spurs were going to go back and lose the game. And it now feels similar under Ange Postecoglou, and it's two different styles of play. That's how ridiculous it is. But I guess, Stefan.
It's not the tactics.
Yeah, but it's funny that we find ourselves making these same sort of jokes like Stefan sort of is, right? That's a bit of a throwback to the old days. And that's just funny to find ourselves saying the same exact things and the same exact sort of coping mechanism type of jokes. Appreciate you, Stefan. And maybe that's exactly what we'll need, is to do that in order to kick ourselves into gear and actually take ourselves, more seriously and securing the 3 points. And that's what matters. Ange wants to win. As much as he loves this, pretty style of play, he wants to win. And he's not getting that right now, and I'm not sure how much that really you can put on his doorstep, because he's putting these players in great positions to win, and they're putting themselves in great positions to win, but they're not doing it, and something's got to change, Stefan. Big up to you, sir.
They bottled it. They bottled it. Anyway, Jack, I think we'll call it an evening. Yeah. I can't speak anymore on this. I'm just so angry. I need to go to bed and cry.
Yeah. And also, I think that this is sort of how we predicted it if it were going to go the bad way. We sort of saw this coming. This isn't much of a surprise that this weren't going to go the way we wanted. This was kind of how we drew it up, was this is how West Ham were going to get the result. And they did. It's painful. It's sort of predictable in a way. But we'll leave you there, everybody. We'll see you on the weekend for Newcastle. Come on, you Spurs. In the big Ange we trust on this channel. We never stop. See you, everybody.